Genre Part 3. Okay, fine, let's talk about some actual genre finally. State Standard HS4.T.CN2.A. Integrate conventions and knowledge from different art forms and other disciplines to develop a cross-cultural theatrical work. So in this lesson, we are going to talk about some different genres. We'll talk about the kinds of conflict that are necessary in order for those stories to work. And I want you to consider which of these genres would be the most engaging, but also make the most sense given the theme that we have chosen. First up is the disaster genre. Your main conflicts in this genre are man versus nature and man versus society. This is a story in which the hero has to survive a natural disaster and overcome the reactions of those around them in order to save themselves or to save others. So some examples of this one: Twister, San Andreas, Into the Storm, Pompeii. In the environmental genre, your main conflicts are man versus nature and man versus machine. In this kind of story, the hero must stop the oncoming or ongoing destruction of the environment to save a region or to save a species like the rainforest or the wolves or the turtles or whatever. Examples of this: Fern Gully, The Lorax, Trashed. In the uncharted territory genre, your primary conflicts are man versus nature and man versus fate. In this story, the hero must battle the elements to discover new lands and new resources. Examples of this would be The Journey to the Center of the Earth, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Lost in Space. In the Promised Land genre, your primary conflicts are man versus nature, combined with a hero's journey. In the Promised Land genre, the hero must survive the elements to reach home, whatever that is, or to find a new home for displaced people. Examples of this would be Homeward Bound or The Prince of Egypt. In the civil rights genre, the conflicts are man versus society and man versus man. In this story, the hero either learns about or is part of an oppressed group and must stand up for justice. Examples of this are The Freedom Riders and To Kill a Mockingbird. In the war genre, your primary conflicts are man versus machine and man versus man. In this story, the hero must navigate wartime and survive it in order to obtain a victory for their homeland. Examples of this are Inglourious Basterds, Wonder Woman, War Horse, The Spies of Warsaw. In the underdog genre, your conflicts are man versus fate and man versus man. In this genre, the hero must overcome humble origins and a lack of privilege in order to achieve a goal. Your examples are Cinderella and Rocky. In the Taken genre, your primary conflicts are man versus man and the hero's journey. In this story, the hero must escape from or evade captors to find freedom or recover a stolen person or object. Examples of this are Toy Story 3 and Misery. In the identity genre, your primary conflicts are man versus society and man versus self. In this story, the hero must find the courage to buck societal norms and embrace their true self. Examples of this: Thelma and Louise, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. In the technology genre, your primary conflicts are man versus machine and man versus self. In this story, the hero must resist the encroachment of a new item or development that seems harmless or helpful, but is in fact hurtful. Examples of this: Soylent Green and limitless. In the responsibility genre, your primary conflicts are man versus fate and man versus self. In this story, the hero must overcome obstacles or self-indulgence in order to take their rightful place. Examples of this: The Princess Diaries, The Lion King. In the self-improvement genre, your primary conflicts are man versus self and a hero's journey. In this story, the hero must overcome faults, selfishness, or self-indulgence in order to become the best version of themselves. Examples of this: Arthur, Southpaw, Julie and Julia. In the travel genre, your primary conflicts are a hero's journey and man versus society. In this story, the hero grows and changes due to encounters with a person or group of people from a different culture. Examples of this: Dances with Wolves, 7 Years in Tibet. In the monster genre, your primary conflicts are a hero's journey and man versus machine. In this story, the hero must defeat a series of strange and powerful enemies to achieve peace and/or freedom. Examples of this: Dracula, Zombieland. In the chosen one genre, your primary conflicts are a hero's journey and man versus self. In this kind of story, the hero must overcome selfishness and learn important lessons to save others from an evil force. Examples of this: Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the Harry Potter series, the Star Wars series. Finally, in the quest genre, your only kind of conflict is a hero's journey. This story combines a little bit of all genres, but in essence, the hero must travel far from home through dangerous or unfamiliar lands, relying on new and different groups of people to achieve a goal. Examples of this: The Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Hobbit, The Hunger Games, and Star Wars.